Hi. I'm Nikki. This is Oksana. We're with Divine Medical Spa down here in Key West. Oksana is the owner and operator and magical esthetician here at Divine. And we're just going to do a little Q&A about some of the microneedling treatments that we have. So a lot of people don't know that there are more than one type of microneedling procedure. So there's microneedling, there's RF microneedling, and then there's the fabulous vampire facial. So Oksana is gonna give us a little information on that.
So the traditional way of microneedling or regular microneedling just utilizes the pen, microneedling pen, with the needles that essentially just go through your skin after you're numbed, properly numbed. And what it does, it opens the channels in your skin so you can put the product in, and the product goes deep enough for you to really see the noticeable result after you apply the serums. So with the traditional microneedling, when you just use the pen and not the special device, you can use a number of different serums. Usually or traditionally, I should say, people use hyaluronic acid, and here at Divine, we actually have two types of hyaluronic acid. Your traditional hyaluronic acid and hyaluronic acid with growth factors, which enhance the results and help the skin to stay moist and hydrated. So those two ingredients are really good for people who really feel that their skin is really dry, they don't have like a nice glow to their skin, they want more like healthier look for their skin. You can also use, and that's what we really love here at Divine Medical Spa, the acne cocktail. So this is specifically for people who suffer for congested skin, oily skin, they feel like they break out a lot, so that would be a wonderful solution for them. And the last one is our Bio Revitalization cocktail, which uses the whole blend of vitamins and amino acids. So that's the first type of microneedling. Then we move to the RF microneedling. RF microneedling is essentially a machine, but it's very similar in the way it works. So first of all, it also has the needles that go into the skin and create the channel. The difference is that each of those needles has the radio frequency energy in it when it goes into the skin, and radio frequency is what gives the skin tightening. So RF microneedling is sort of combining two treatments in one. On one hand, you have your microneedling when you can put the serums into your skin by creating the channels. You also can tighten the skin by using the radio frequency. So it's sort of two treatments in one. And then you have your last one, which is vampire facial. So vampire facial uses the same technique. We create the channels in the skin. However, we use the growth factor that were derived from your own blood. What does growth factor really do for you? The growth factor helps your aging skin almost behave like a young skin. So it produces collagen. It gives your skin a division, skin cells division. So you do get younger appearance. And compared to the growth factors that come in the bottle that we use, your own growth factors are sort of like growth factors on steroids. So it's a very potent treatment. When you do the regular microneedling, you can repeat the treatment every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks. But when you do the vampire facial, you can do it once in 6 months, just because it's such a strong and potent serum to put in your skin.
How do you get the patient's growth factor?
How do we get? Well, so for the vampire facial, you need to essentially, draw their blood, and that's what Nikki does. So she draws the blood, and then she double spins it in the centrifuge. And what it achieves, it's basically separates blood into its components, and the only component that we're using is plasma. So out of around 30 ml of blood,
you get about 6 or 7 mLs. That is the enriched plasma that you use for the procedure itself.
Correct.
So that's it's a really great treatment because you're using your own
growth factors.
Yeah. So when it comes to microneedling, who are the best candidates for microneedling? Like, is there people that shouldn't do microneedling, or are there better candidates that would benefit it?
Well,
more
first
from
of
it?
all, microneedling, I can tell even this like specific pen, Rejuva pen that we're using has been FDA approved for acne scarring. So it's a great treatment for those who want to break that scar tissue that they have after they had acne when they were a teenager or whenever. So that's really helpful because those little needles that go into your skin, they break the tissue, and then by putting the growth factor, you essentially create nicer, healthier skin that you haven't had before. It's also really good for people who do not necessarily have a lot of issues with their skin that needs to be removed, like dark spots or anything else. Then like there are other treatments that they can use. Microneedling, it's called sort of a build-up treatment. You're trying to build a better skin. So it's good for those who have sensitive skin. It's good for those who just feel like their skin is dull. It's not necessarily bad. There's no, visible issues with it. It just looks dull and kind of older. Or mature, I should say. So you can use microneedling for those purposes. When you use the vampire facial, our PA, who's an expert in vampire facial and certified in vampire facial, she can also inject it in the specific areas, whether that's like specific scars that are divoted, so you can fill them up, or she can inject it in under the eyes, or she can inject it in like wrinkles area when you really want to smooth the area a little bit more. So you can sort of make it even more potent than it is.
Very good. What are the downtime that you would say for each of these treatments? Are they the same or are they different?
So the downtime is essentially identical. So the first 12 hours, this is your worst, if you want, as far as the way you look and probably even feel, because it feels really tight after the treatment. You're not supposed to put anything on your skin because you really want all the serums to get into your skin as much as possible. You don't want to put any kind of dirt or anything else, God forbid, into your skin. So that's a healing process. So you probably will get a little bit red. You'll have that sort of, after the vampire facial, the plasma sort of mixed a little bit with the blood that comes out when you microneedle, which is really not the big deal. But we do encourage patients not to wash their face that evening, just because you really want all that product to go into the skin. So if you wipe it off, you kind of lose half of it, which you don't want to do, obviously. And then after 12 hours, you can apply the makeup. So even if you stay a little bit red, you can cover it up. There's a small percentage of people that get a little bit of swelling around their eye area, especially, but this is also the area that we really want to work on. It's a very safe treatment, so any skin types can have it, like whether it's a darker skin or lighter skin, which is obviously good because dark skin types do not really go well with the laser treatment, so microneedling is a great option for them.
Oh, awesome. Well, all right. Anything else you think you want to say?
Well, people often ask me about using the sort of home devices or the pens, not even the pens, but the rollers. I don't have a lot of issues with that, except couple, really. First of all, usually they don't have a difference in how deep you can go. And it's really important to remember that when somebody microneedles you professionally, it goes into a different depth depending where on the face they microneedle you. And obviously if you have the scar tissue, you really need to go deep. The other thing, the rollers, the needles go under the certain angle, which is not really the best for putting the product in. So you create that injury to your skin, but when you really want to have the channels, you want to make sure that they're created at 90-degree angle. So that's another sort of downside, or not necessarily positive thing about the rollers. So I personally think that the microneedling, the regular microneedling, is not crazy expensive treatment, and if you decide to go down that road, you probably better off doing it professionally. But if you want to use the roller, you're more than welcome. You just need to remember what are the benefits, but also what are the downsides of using the roller.
Okay.
I think this
All
is
right.
it.
Well, thank you all for tuning in to Q&A on Friday.